Struggling with paint stains on your football shirts? Then check this video out. In today's video, I'm going to be trying out a few different products to see which one is best for getting paint stains out of football shirts. I mean, there seems to have been a trend maybe in the 90s and early noughties of painters and decorators wearing football shirts, because I see a lot of football shirts, amazing football shirts, covered in paint stains. I mean, I'm not a Villa fan, but I do like this shirt, and unfortunately it is covered in white paint. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try out a few different products and see which one is best for taking this particular paint out. Not all paints are equal. You get water-based paints, you get oil-based paints, and a lot of modern paints are water-based because of the environmental impact and everything along those lines. But back in the 90s and noughties, there were some pretty robust oil-based paints and eggshell paint and gloss paint, and some of it is really hard to get off. So what the trick is to find the right solvent. I say this a lot, to find the right solvent to get the stuff off without damaging the fabric. So what I'll do is I'm going to go over to the other side and we're going to try out some different products and see which one works best. So what we have here is the Villa shirt laid out. So we've got one paint stain there, one paint stain there, some spots there, some paint stains there, some paint stains there. So we've got 4 areas of paint stain, and I've got 4 products that I'm going to try out. Now, first one I'm going to try out is Sportswear. I love this stuff. It is absolutely brilliant. We've done a video on using it in the past for getting the smear stains out of that VLR creates. And it's fantastic. And it says easily removes paints, oil, grease, pen marks, etc. So why not give it a go? So let's spray a bit on a cotton pad, and we'll put that right there. Let's just put a little bit more on there. Right, so there's the spot solve. The second one I'm going to use is some bog standard acetone. Really cheap stuff to buy, and in the past I've used that on a lot of paint-based stains, and it's all right. It's all right. It does do a job a lot of the time, but let's see how it works on this one. And I'm going to use that down here on this little cluster of stains. A bit more on. Fine, that's that done. So next one is Graffiti Go. We've used this in the past on pen, permanent marker and stuff like that. So let's see how good this is. Let's use it there. And what we have to do with this one is give it a little bit of a agitate with a toothbrush. As always, don't use your toothbrush. Might leave a bit of a nasty taste in your mouth. And the last one we're going to try is the new kid on the block. This is Jenolite Industrial Strength Paint Stripper. Now, for all new things that you try, either try it on a shirt that you're not that fussed about, or try an area that is sort of out the way, because what you don't want to do is damage the shirt. I know this won't damage the shirt. It says spray it for 20 centimetres away. So let's do that. Spray it on. And again, use toothbrush to agitate it. It says you've got to leave that for about 15 minutes. So I'm going to leave that for 15 minutes. The spot solve, let's just give it a rub here. Yeah, well, let's see. Let's see how that goes. Put a little bit more of that on. Now, I'm going to leave this. I mean, the acetone, looks like the acetone has already evaporated. So I'll probably have to just keep giving that a bit of a rub before it totally evaporates. I'm not a massive fan of using acetone because it does evaporate so quickly. And the trouble is you're then forced into using force, if you like, to rub before it does evaporate, which can damage the shirt. So let's just leave that on there. Right, I'm going to leave these all for 10-15 minutes and then I'll come back.
A few moments later.
We are 15 minutes or so later. Now, you can see the spot solve one. That looks like it's gone a little bit. It's not amazing. It has gone. So let's just put a little bit more on there. Go on to the next one. So this next one is the paint stripper. And looking at it, I mean, this was probably the thickest of the paint marks. And yeah, I mean, look, if I scrape that away, I don't know if you can see, I know it's got a wet patch around it, but that has almost completely removed paint already. That looks brilliant. If I give it a little rub with the microfiber cloth, a trusty microfiber cloth, that looks really, really good. Now, the thing is with paint stains is a lot of the time you have to give it multiple rounds, but once you've found the right thing, right product, it shouldn't be too arduous. So I'm really pleased with that. Let's go on to the next one, which is, this is the Graffiti Go. This one, yeah, unfortunately, the graffiti hasn't gone. Not as well with this one. As I'm scraping, I can still feel almost like a bit of hardness to the paint. Where I think it was eggshell or gloss paint, I can still feel a little bit of a difference in texture as the scraper runs over it. So that shows that there's a bit of a thickness there that hasn't yet been penetrated. I mean, it's slightly removed, but not entirely. And then this last bit here, this here is the acetone. And yeah, I mean, the acetone will have evaporated a long time ago. It's not got rid of all of the paint. It's made it fade a little bit. Where the acetone has gone, what you don't want to do is rub too hard with a scraper. So I don't think acetone, I could have really drowned it with acetone and kept rubbing with a cotton pad, but I don't think that would have been given the best results because it might have ended up damaging the fabric. I reckon, looking at the three, I'm going with the paint stripper, but what we'll do now is I'm going to give it a quick rinse in warm water and let it dry, and then we'll see what it looks like at the end of it, because it might be that the spot solve the solvent has done its job and warm water might get rid of what's there. I mean, it is coming away, but just doesn't seem to be as effective as this. This is amazing. But I'm going to go and give it a quick wash, and then I'll be back to show you the final results. Results are in now. I don't know if you can see, but that there is the spot solve, which is, it's done well. It's done, got rid of a lot of it, but you can still see a little bit. You've got these here, which are the acetone. I could have put more acetone on, but I don't like using a lot of acetone. It creates the smear marks, and yeah, I didn't want to use too much of that. It evaporates very quickly, and therefore you have to use a lot of friction to try and get the paint out. This here is the Graffiti Go. That's quite good, but it's not totally gone. But far and away the winner, I've got to try and find where the mark was. Right. Bear in mind how thick the paint was on. This here is the winner. It looks worse on camera than in real life. I mean, this is just with one go. So I suspect a couple of goes and this would come off. But this here was a very thick white paint line, and paint stripper has just taken it all off. It looks much, much better. So of the four things we've done, paint stripper first, spot solve second, Graffiti Go third, and then Acetone languishing in fourth place, the Europa League spot. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through this shirt. Has still got a load of paint on it, so I'm going to go through, clean it up. But at least now I know what to use to do it. So just to recap what we did with this paint strip, and I'll put a link to the paint stripper in the description, but just spray it front and back. Use a toothbrush just to kind of rub it in, leave it for 15 minutes, and then with a scraper, one of our special scrapers, in case you didn't realise we do them, give it a scrape and you'll see the paint start coming away. Just wipe the scraper on some kitchen roll and keep rubbing it away. And then when you think you've done it, you can kind of just rinse it with some hot water, hang it out, let it dry, and see if you can still see some. Like I say, there's still a little bit here, so I'll just go and redo this. Then just do the process again, and I think you will be left with a fantastically clean, paint removed shirt. So I hope you've liked this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or whatever. Please remember to click like and subscribe because it really helps us with the algorithm. And thank you very much.